Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
Hello and welcome to Countryside here on Manx Radio. I'm Kirree Kermode. At the weekend, I went along to a very busy Royal Manx agricultural show. We'll be hearing from the Supreme Prize winners, the organisers and some of the exhibitors on the day. Well, what a fabulous spell of weather the show had after a terrible week of rain. Well, the sun was certainly shining for the Grand Parade, where Vicky Sloan-Masson and Sandra Cowell took the championship, who we'll be hearing from a bit later on in the programme. But first, the runners-up. And in third reserve, Ned Kenyock.
Excellent day, and the weather has been wonderful. I'm absolutely shattered now.
I bet
I'm
you are.
shattered now.
Look who's come to have a natter too.
This experience doesn't take it out of you physically, it takes it out of you mentally as well, because you're on go right from the minute you open your eyes in the morning.
It is that. And tell us a bit about this Shire horse. My word, magnificent pair of animals, but obviously it caught the judge's eye today.
Daisy has got present. Well, you know all about that. To put an animal in the ring, they've got to show themselves. There's only so much you can do.
Absolutely.
You can hold their head up and kick their ass, but after that, it's up to them.
And the work, Ned, that's gone on behind the scenes and today.
I'm keeping it going. Like, we were in the harness class today, and I had a word on the judge beforehand, and I said, I'm going to hang some harness on this horse. It's not a set, it's not on properly, and you will criticise us. But we've got a young lady helping us who is getting involved, and I'm doing it for her. And so don't be too critical. And he said, that'll be all right. He said, I'll encourage it if I can.
Yes,
and we've got to fetch new blood in at the bottom, haven't we?
Absolutely. And this young lady here standing beside us, she done a good job today?
Excellent, excellent.
Just a youth. Just a youth. There we go. Does this young lady have a name, Ned?
Yes, she does.
Helen Ashcroft. There we go, Helen Ashcroft. Yeah. Well, we've known her from Craig Niche and doing all the great things from Manx National Heritage. Exactly. Now, she won't be any stranger of these big beasts then.
No, she's got to the bottom now. It's been one headlong charge to the bottom, and she's got there.
But it's all smiles, all delighted.
Well, it's got to be. It's no good coming just to win shiny trophies. You've got to take part. That's why I entered the harness class today. Not to win any trophies, but to keep the class going. You know, 2 years without anybody in the class, they'll say it's not worth promoting this class, we'll scrap it. Yeah. And then in no time at all, there'll just be 2 coming to the heavy horse class.
This is it.
So we're trying to keep it going as best we can.
This is it. Great. And good competition here today?
Oh yes, and a good judge. Everything was wonderful. You had it right at the South Show too. We had a good steward at the South Show, very helpful. And the judge, Libby was telling us that he was most helpful, and she's learned a lot from him, and that's what it's all about. I said, would a judge be agreeable next year, after the judging is finished, to hold a bit of a seminar and just give the exhibitors the benefit of his knowledge? Not necessarily why he placed them, but how they could improve how they presented their horses. He said, most certainly, I'd be delighted to do that. And I think that's the road we should go down. I know nothing about showing. All I know is what I've picked up from other people. Now, some of it is right and some of it is not right. I store what I think is right and I discard what I think is rubbish.
But you must have had it right today to come away with that third reserve.
Well, damn it all, I've been at it for 75 years now. I should be getting it right now, shouldn't I?
Well, congratulations, Caesar Kermode. You came through the classes to stand in the Grand Parade as the overall sheep champion today. How does it feel?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's really good, really good. I wasn't really expecting to come through the sheep, let alone get into the main ring. So it's always a good surprise. No, this is Orisdale Gigi. She's a 1-year-old Texel ewe and homebred. And hopefully we'll keep her for breeding. And no, we're very pleased with her.
And what kind of work goes into the background of getting a sheep ready for a show like this?
Well, it starts with the genetics, really. You got to find the right tup and the right ewe. Years in advance, to be honest. And no, it takes a lot of time and effort and plenty of practice. Lots of feeding.
And what about on the show day itself?
No, it's good, really good. No, and when you get a champion or even just a first, there's a real reward for all your effort. So very pleased.
Well, Abby Cole, no stranger of the silverware, but today, wow, in that final lineup, brilliant effort.
Yeah, he's my horse of a lifetime. He's just the most amazing animal, and he fully deserves to be here.
The judge really, really liked him, and she said it's just a shame he's a gelding.
Yeah, but a light horse is a light horse, so you can compete them whether they're mares, geldings or stallions. So he's not a heavy horse, so it's completely different, but it's fine.
Well, you've had, like you say, a horse of a lifetime. You've had some real success over the years.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. We've been Horse of the Year show, Royal International, all the big showing shows. He's also turned his hoofs to eventing. He's been to Blair International and big competitions with him. He's just absolutely fantastic, and we're off to Hoys again in October.
That is absolutely incredible. But how does it feel to be here on your homeland, the Royal Manx?
If I'm completely honest, the Celia Hedges Trophy is the one that I would really like to win in the year on the Isle of Man.
Ah, brilliant. You're no stranger of receiving it though, Abby.
No, I think it's 7 or 8 times, and he's really, he's 15 now, so we don't know when it'll be his last one, so it's really special.
Well, anyway, enjoy the celebrations. There we go. And Suzanne Cole, President, yes. You're very, very proud of this young lady. You're always right behind her with whatever she does. But today, you're the lady of the show, you're the president, you pick the judge. How has it all been for you?
Well, I've had the most fantastic weekend, I have, really good weekend. I tried to get round, said hello to everybody, and wish them all well for the show.
You really have. We've seen you everywhere.
Yeah, and it's just been amazing.
It really has. And the weather, my goodness me, you couldn't have asked for better on Thursday when I seen you here. Oh my word, we were wondering.
No, I know, and I have been praying for good weather.
We got it.
Yeah. But, no, I have had the most amazing experience. Yeah, I have.
And you have one hell of a team around you. You know, all the people that have made this happen.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot tell you how much people have pulled together to put this all on.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Yeah,
it really good. Really is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll go and let you calm down. It's all the emotions of not just the 2 days. It is weeks and months, and working behind the scene with Abby, it's years of work to put a show animal on.
Absolutely, yeah. It takes a long time, yeah. But putting all this show together, people are amazing to come and help do it. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you to everybody.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much, Suzanne. There we go. Well, Chris Lees, you were standing reserve champion in the Supreme Championship here at the Royal Manx Show for 2024. What a beautiful cow you've got here. What's her name, and tell me a bit about her?
She's Mary, and she's 8 years old. She's in calf. Yeah. And
you've had a few calves before now then, I assume, Chris?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
And what does it mean to you to firstly get through the classes?
Quite a lot, to be fair, because it's one of our first years here. We've only been here 3 years beforehand.
Wow.
So, yeah. For us to do it, it's amazing, and especially for Brian.
And talking of Brian, he'd be very, very proud of this win.
Yeah, he was actually on the phone to Graham Watson as we were going around.
No, it's fab. And to be out in the main ring there, were you nervous? Did you have any thoughts?
No, because she's behaved all day, so yeah, she was all right. She's been a bit tetchy, but she's been all right, so we're winning.
And what goes into getting an animal prepared for the show?
A lot. An awful lot, to be fair. It can take years, I suppose, to get the animal up to scratch.
And have you had to do much work with her?
No, because she's been to the shows before, so she was pretty much ready. We just had to remind her.
And to have her in good show condition like that, she must be an easy one to look after.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's the pet, the clang, I suppose. But yeah.
And she was ably showed here today.
Yeah. Stacey that was walking her.
And Stacey, you've been involved with turning out Mary, reserve champion here. How does it feel for you?
Absolutely brilliant. Like I say, Uncle Brian was in hospital today, so we've done our best for him, and it's come out marvellous. Couldn't have asked for anything more for him, could we?
Really, really good. Well, anyway, congratulations to the pair of you, and I'm sure lots of people around the ringside were agreeing. She's a fine-looking cow.
Thank you very much.
Well, Vicky, no stranger of the silverware, but obviously an emotional win today.
Just the amount of sheer hard work that goes into it, and all of the team give up their day to help me.
the day. You give up every day to put on, the work, like you say, that goes into a cow like this. She's here now being milked after winning the Supreme Championship. What does it take to get a cow to this standard to perform like she does at 4 o'clock in the Grand Parade?
Well, it's took me a few years to master it, and every cow is different, but if you spend the time with them every day and you kind of know the cow, but like the back of your hand basically, and you kind of know what she needs. Like, I know this cow needs to lie down to make milk, and we let her lay down just to fill in the rear udder up. If she doesn't lie down, she doesn't make rear udder, and it's always a risk because obviously they're lying on straw and you can get marks, and you can also make the udder uneven. She's really happy at a show, but she doesn't seem to make that rear udder milk. So yes, she's definitely one. At the Southern, it was trial and error, and we kind of use that as a bit of an experiment. But yeah, she's no stranger to a show. She's been shown in the UK as well.
So you say she'll be shown in the UK by yourselves, or is she being brought in?
She actually was purchased at a sale, a dispersal sale, and I actually went to get some new cow families, and I had her picked for the best cow in the catalogue, which I thought, without even seeing her. And I got to there and I looked down and I thought, she had a crowd of people around, and I thought, I'm not even going to go near it because I don't think we've got enough money for that. Sat and we'd bought 3 cows, and my dad and my sister were either side of me, and I said, I'll start bidding, but I really don't think we can touch this. And Sandra just nudged me and said, yeah, we can. And we just kept going and ended up with her, and she had a heifer calf for us back in December, and hopefully she'll go on a flush programme next year, and we'll get some sexed embryos out of her and put in our own recips, and hopefully we'll end up with a few. It's all gamble, you know what it's like, Kirree. It's just a big gamble, but it
really is. But Vicky, we don't often see a red and white Holstein. Often they are the black and white type. What's made you go down this direction?
We've actually got probably about 12 red and white Holsteins in the herd now. It's something that I've always had a passion for. I'm a sucker for trying to make life harder for myself. And I've been trying to breed red and white Holsteins for a long time. So we'll pick a bull that's red and white when we flush her and hopefully get a lot more red and whites. I don't know what it is about them, it's just something different. But when you get a good red and white cow, you've really got a good red and white cow. It's one of them. But
and obviously you've got a lot of people around you here today helping. Your daughter, your son, they're both interested in it. Your husband, you're a big team there up in Ronagh.
Oh, on cue. Yeah, you do. At the end of the day, it's just Neil and my husband, and we have Luke Caucus relief milk in the rest of the year. And to fit in all the show stuff, when we're such low staff, we need a lot of help to make that happen. And on the day, we've got 7 here today, and it's just keeping those absolutely pristine all day long from like 9 o'clock in the morning. We need a lot of staff because they need feed pushing at them, they need water, they need to keep clean, and it's just, keep the sun off their backs as well. We need a lot of staff. And we've got a good team. They all know what they're doing now.
But Vicky, like you say, it is a team. You're awfully proud. You can see the emotion. You've been doing this a lifetime. Do you think it will ever get old?
I don't know. I keep threatening to have a year off. Never happens. I don't know. I just feel. Sometimes I think, I'm going to have a day. I've never actually been around this show field since it's moved to Patrick, ever.
It's a good number of years now, girl.
It is, yeah, because we're always at home getting cows ready for the Saturday. I just don't think I can take that time out of that day before. I don't know. I don't know whether I can actually do it.
The fear of missing out.
Definitely. When I go to shows away, I always make a point of going to shows away so we can float round and talk to people, like-minded people and everything. I always want to step in. I normally end up stepping in, holding a tail or doing something. And it's just, I can't stay away.
But like you mentioned your dad before, he's been very, very successful in the rings on the Isle of Man himself. You've been born and bred into it.
Yeah, definitely. He had a major passion for Holsteins, and it's so nice that we've got some of his line still in the herd. We've just actually had a cow do 130 tonnes of milk. We got a certificate the other day, and that comes from a line that Dad had from one of the first consignments from Canada of the Holsteins, and they've actually kept her name right through from the 70s right through, and she was actually our first Holstein that we'd actually bred as Kirree Holsteins, and she's an 11th calved cow and done 130 tonne. We worked out the other day that she's filled 6.5 tankers of milk in her lifetime. So that tanker has actually come to Cricket 6.5 times just for that one cow, and she's amazing. We've dried her off. She's retired, and she'll live a life out with us.
And that's what's special about it. I see your dad here, Kenny Sloan. He's watching on. You know, he must be so proud of you.
Yeah, I think so. Hope so.
Do you still take advice from him?
Oh, definitely. I'm always asking him, do you think she's got enough milk? Do you think we should do something, throughout the day? And he's there watching over us.
Yeah. Well done anyway, all of you, and enjoy the celebrations, Vicky.
Thank you very much.
Well, Belinda, you're the judge for today. How was it out there? It's baking hot, I know that much.
It's fabulous, isn't it? What a fabulous day. And what an honour to be asked to judge this fantastic lineup of livestock. Really is an honour. Thank you to Suzanne. It was a surprise.
Oh, really? Because we were all trying to guess who she'd have.
Yeah, no, it was a surprise, but Suzanne's been a lifelong friend with our love of ponies and horses, and it was really nice of her to ask, and thanks to the Royal Manx for putting on this brilliant show.
It really has. The weather has just been perfect, hasn't it?
Absolutely makes it, doesn't it?
And your final lineup, Belinda, tell us all about them.
Well, I think my first love is dairy cows and horses, and you might have noticed they did feature. So I couldn't really look past this beautiful animal that Vicky and Sandra had produced here for us today. Beautiful animal, fourth calver, working hard, just knows her job, real milk machine, just got everything going for her. Second there, I had the lovely Limousin heifer, second calf, two calves she'd had, and due with her third very shortly. In third place, I put Abby. I would have loved to put this animal higher because this horse is just the whole package. It can jump, she goes away with it, and I just asked her to do a demonstration here in the ring. Absolutely foot perfect. She's not got a hair out of place. Beautiful horse. But a gelding's not going to produce anything, and I like to see something that's going forward and producing some progeny. And then my next in the lineup, I had the beautiful, beautiful Shire horse from Ned Kenyock. I know Ned does a lot of work with it. It doesn't happen that they just appear here. Beautifully behaved again, as all the animals were in the lineup. Beautifully presented, beautifully trained. Yeah. It's been an honour to judge them.
There we go. There was some of the people in the Grand Parade ring. The overall sheep champion was with Kirree Kermode. Third reserve, Ned and Sylvia Kenyock. Second reserve, Abby Kirkpatrick, with her mum, the president of the show, Suzanne Corlett. And first reserve, Brian Leese, with Chris Leese and Stacey. And the overall supreme champion we heard there from Vicky Sloan Masson, jointly owned with Sandra Cowell. And the judge for the day, Belinda Cool, from Ballamoda Farm in Ballasalla. Well, there were many other prize winners on the day, and I couldn't catch up with all of them, but I caught up with a very proud young man, Ewan Jackson, who won the Meg Lamb Silver Cup. But first, I also spoke to Jenny Shepherd, who told me all about her Great Taste Awards success. Well, firstly, Jen, a massive congratulations. 3 stars in the Great Taste Awards. Now, that doesn't come to everybody every year. What an incredible achievement.
Thank you. I mean, for our first year, to get a 3-star and 2 stars, just beyond our wildest hopes. We are absolutely thrilled.
I could well imagine. But the work that's gone in the background of keeping Lochtons, farming them here in Patrick, and then developing the wool shop initially, and now onto the charcuterie side.
Last year was the first full year of charcuterie, but I've got to say, most of the year was spent adapting recipes, but we had enormous fun tasting everything. And we finally got our recipes and hit the market really at Christmas. So I can't believe such a short time later it's actually been recognised.
And how did you want to come about doing this? Because obviously you do locked-ins, you do the wool and you do the meat side of it. But to go this stage further, what sort of developed that idea?
I'm not sure. We've always liked charcuterie and taking dried meats and trying a different angle. Once we tried Lockton in charcuterie, we realised that it is a different flavour to ordinary lamb, and it's absolutely suited to charcuterie, as a 3-star award proved. That was Manx Lockton chorizo.
Now, to our listeners, there is a bit of a difference between the salamis and the chorizo. Give them a bit of an idea of what's gone into it.
Salami they're all cured, dried meat, and they all take about 10 to 12 weeks to mature and dry and happen. Salamis are mainly, it's the meat with garlic and pepper. They've all got wine in.
That could be good. Interesting.
Only a little bit for the flavour. Yeah. Whereas the chorizos have the smoked pimento, bit of chilli. They've got the spice.
Yeah. And does that hide the flavour of the locked-in meat?
No. The 3-star one, which was our Manx Lockton chorizo, all the judges' comments where you can taste the meat, then you get the spice hit, and that the flavour lasts for ages.
Oh, my word. But the people judging the Great Taste Awards, they are some of the most noted chefs and people within the hospitality industry that we know.
I know. I mean, we're absolutely thrilled that we got there. But, there were... Our chorizo is pork-based. Now, most of the pork comes from Isle of Man meats. We occasionally can source a farm one, but it's all Manx meat, and we're hugely proud that all our products, beef, pork, Manx Lockton, are all Manx. Yeah. They don't get more Manx. We got our provenance sticker easily. Because we're over 90% Manx.
And that said, Jen, here on the Isle of Man, the traceability, you know where the stock is raised, how it's grown, who is tended to it, who's cared for it. And that there, in its own, is an amazing story to tell.
It is. And I mean, if I had the choice, I would try and source all my meat from known farms, but it's not feasible. So we get the odd pig from known sources, and I've got to say they are delicious.
And now, Jen, on the back of the 3-star awards and the 2 stars, how are you going to progress from here? Because I imagine the demand is going to skyrocket.
The demand has skyrocketed, and we are struggling.
Oh, no.
We're going to struggle. We've got to seriously come up with ideas for upping production. We are in the Royal Show selling our chorizos, salamis, sausages, and we've had to be really careful. We've actually got some product to sell. We keep telling people, no, at the moment you can't have it.
And the thing is, when they can't have it, they want it even more so, don't they? So at the supply and the demand, it could be a really nice position to be in. It's seasonal.
We're still learning. Well, no, it seems to be all year round. We were expecting a rush Christmas, high days and holidays, but it's continued since Christmas. There's been no let-up.
So with that said, that's a lot of demand on yourself and Rawdon. I hope you've got some good help here.
We're beginning to improve. We've got Richard, who we owe a massive thank you to. He's our charcutier, and we're now going to start employing him full-time. But we've had to get extra help on the farm, so we're training up a lovely young lad to be a Lockton farmer.
And that said, you have a lot of Locktons here.
We do. I think we're currently about 550 to 600. We did hit 900, but that was too many.
Wow. And to think that they're a rare breed, but yeah, obviously you're doing your bit for keeping the the flocks established.
It's true, it's a bit sad. We're the largest flock now. It used to be Dougie Bolton, and I would much rather have not ended up as the only enormous flock, you know.
Yeah.
But hopefully through this, people will see the value of Locktons. The meat is stunning. It's low cholesterol, it's gamey, it's absolutely wonderful, and it lends itself to sausages, chorizo, what have you. It's pretty good roasted too. I've given it to people without telling them what it is, and they think it's venison.
Wow.
So it's actually probably closer to venison than normal lamb.
And that said, with demand like this, it will encourage maybe farmers with, looking to do something different. Like the Conservation and Agri-Environmental Scheme is looking for us to look after areas that maybe are better suited to Locktons, and this could be a route to market for them to collaborate and work together.
Locktons, it was hard work in the early years to make anything out of them. But now, as you say, the Agri-Environment Scheme, Locktons are perfect for conservation grazing. They like mixed grazing. They don't like enriched grass. So they're absolutely perfect. So our involvement in agri-environment is just going up year on year because there's more and more you can do with these sheep.
This is it. And could there be a collaboration? Could you be a collective and use the meat as one exit point, this great route to market that you've established?
I can't see that quite yet because everyone, a bit like us, I wouldn't want to hand my meat to somebody else to develop. I think half the fun is developing your own products. So I can't see that happening yet. But I can see people who don't want to do it finding it much easier to sell their Locktons.
Yeah.
Because there are a few of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other side with the wool, you've got a great business here. We're standing at the wool shop taking a look at it, and the rosettes are galore of all of what you've won over the years. And just to see how stunning and how many shades of brown there really is from your own girls.
My own girls.
It must be something to be very proud of.
The other thing, I mean, people go on about wool and you don't make any money, and which is partly what drove us into it in the first place. But we actually sort all our wool, so we keep the best. And I ended up with 3 years' worth of second grade wool. And last year I thought, I'll just put it into British wool. It fetched £3 a kilo.
My word.
So if anyone doubts the value of rare breeds and Locktons, their meat's now worth more, but their wool is too. Yeah. I sent in 1,000 kilos, and I couldn't believe it when I got a cheque for over £3,000.
But every little helps with all of the developments that you're having here.
It all gets, it's gone towards a new curing machine. Yeah. But
where did the love for Lockton ever come from?
I came across them in the 90s when I lived in London. I came because
very strange place to find Lockton.
I grew up here. But every time I came back, I met up with somebody who had Locktons, and I absolutely fell in love with them. And I used to actually even come back and help her at shows and things. And then when I moved back just after the millennium, she gave me 6 sheep to mow my 5 acres. And it grew and grew and grew.
It's grown, yeah. 500 later.
Yeah, true. Do you know, I only lost the last one of those 6 a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
She lived to 17.
And that is the thing. They do live for a great old age. But they're such characters.
Oh, they're fabulous characters. I still miss my original big ram. He was the first one I won the Royal Championship with, Magnus.
Oh,
Even with a broken horn, he still won the championship.
goodness.
He was beautiful, but he was so gorgeous. He'd greet you whenever you came out. You never needed to worry about catching him.
That makes a difference.
You just hold a ginger nut biscuit and he'd appear. No, I still miss him. He died about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. You do get those very special ones,
Yeah.
and they sometimes make you get out of bed in the winter months, and you think, what am I doing this for? But then you see them, you think, you've made the right choice.
No, I'm very happy with my Locktons because it does allow me to do my other passion, which is conservation and all that side. I love my birds and my wildlife. So, yeah, I reckon I'm really lucky. I've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, this is it. And to see that lovely award on the table there, the Chuff Awards 2023, a winner of the smaller section. You know, it's everything to strive for now.
Oh, yes. I haven't ever won the actual bronze, but I won the small farms category. But no, that means a lot to me, that award. That other people think we're doing okay with conservation.
Yeah.
But,
and I suppose now with the wool shop and the charcuterie shop on site, you'll have many visitors come and enjoy the countryside and what you've created.
We're beginning to get coaches and things like that, tours. At the moment, they tend to book ahead and arrange it. We had 50 Dutch vets last year. The Norwegians come quite regularly.
And it's great when the wool conservation. No, it's not the wool. The tour. Oh my word!
Which
the one that came over here a few years ago.
Oh, the North Atlantic.
Yes.
North Atlantic short-tailed sheep.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, the North Atlantic wool group, when they came over a few years ago, they really enjoyed it.
They're all Viking sheep. That conference is really what got us going. I got invited 2015 to talk in Iceland, and I did. And all I had were 2 double knit and Aran. That was all we produced. And when I'd finished, the woman stood up and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And I went, "What?" And she said, "This is the best Lockton wool I've ever seen." Oh. And she said, "Get out there and do something." And she was the driving force for us to start actually looking beyond balls of wool.
Yeah. Well, you have everything in here today, cushions, blankets, beanies. You've really embraced the whole range of making and doing.
But that's quite good fun. We think of a new product to try, and we try it, and if it works, you keep it on. Yeah. If it doesn't, then you drop it. But we've had enormous fun developing the patterns, the designs for rugs and things like that. All the beanies are still hand knitted, although I am struggling to keep up.
Oh my word! By yourself?
I've got help with the cable ones now.
That's very good. Good idea.
I was struggling. We had that was full of beanie hats. We sold them all in TT week.
Amazing. You must be so, so proud.
Yes, I am proud of what we've done, but I'm glad it's for the island, for all the people who've helped us, that it's not a selfish venture. So yes, no, I am proud of what we've achieved. There have been times where you think, have we taken a risk too far? But no.
Well, clearly not. And now the new charcuterie shop is looking really something special. Yeah. And what the future holds is anybody's guess now with the 3 stars.
Well, if you'd even said to me 2 years ago, you'd have a charcuterie shop, you'd have, all these buildings and all this, I wouldn't have believed you. No. So, no, come a long way.
So here we go, we're with the winner of the Meg Lamb section. Now, that is a massive trophy for a start. So what's your name?
Ewan Jackson.
Now, Ewan, what did you do to win that beautiful trophy?
So I spent Before we got to the show, I did a few times of training my lamb and walking it around. And when we got to the show, I spent the whole morning fluffing it up.
And what type of lamb is it? Is it a black one or a white one? Or
It's a white one, and the type is a Texel.
Oh, fantastic. And did you have to get dressed up to walk around with the Meg lambs?
Not really, I just had to put a show coat on.
Oh, so you look very professional. And what do we have here? We've got a sign. What sign was this that you were carrying?
I made up, just something, and it's... Well, my mum said, how do we get the people's attention?
Yep.
And make them buy Manx.
And you've come up with this placard that you were holding up in the air. Now let's have a read of it. What does that say, Ewan?
Manx is the best, Manx beats the rest.
Now that is a great statement, and I think it is very true. And you, as a young person involved with agriculture, that is a great way to start out. The passion is really, really there. So tonight, Ewan, what are you going to do to celebrate your win? What are you going to do with this big trophy?
Probably get it engraved with my name and then have Nana and Granda have tea with us, maybe?
That sounds like a great plan. So you're going to have on there 2024...
Ewan Jackson and Manxman.
There we go, Manxman. And you're a true Manxman yourself. Well, congratulations, you, and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you.
And finally, a lady that does a tremendous amount of work for the Royal Manx Agricultural Show, Kirree Kermode. I caught her before she was heading off for a large glass of gin. It's all over for another year. It's hard to believe we were just sat here in this porter cabin and it was chucking it down, wondering if we'll even get on the showground for the weekend.
Who would have seen this last week? The forecast was hideous, and we actually joked about, shall we even bother setting the show up? And look what's happened.
Wow.
You can't write it.
I feel like it is our summer days. I've been sunburnt today. I think many others have. How has it been in general?
I've never seen a show or people like this here today at Knockaloe. I know I've moved location and it's very different for me, but coming in, the car parks were full. They were concerned how they're going to park the cars. We had queues on the road. We had queues at the gates. Never ever in my time. And that is just testament to the Royal Manx and the people on the Royal Manx. They're all volunteers. They all give their time freely, and they deserve this today. They've put so much time into it.
And the show is growing. You can see there's different faces, different exhibitors, the trade stands, bigger machinery. Like, it is growing, isn't it? People want to be part of it.
And it is a community event, and that's all we ever wanted. It will always, always be an agricultural show. But to have this bigger machinery, young children love that sort of thing, to come along, engage them, you engage the parents. The show has to evolve and the show has to change. We can't run a show how it used to be run 50 years ago. And no disrespect to people that have done that, but it is time to move on, and we move on slowly. And this is our reward for doing so.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the moments I really enjoyed today was seeing the Meg Lambs lead the Grand Parade there. My goodness me, what work has gone into those young lambs, the exhibitors themselves all dressed up. Just a spectacle.
And it is, and to get exhibitors at that age into the main ring, capture their enthusiasm, keep them going. They are our future, and they are the people that we need to concentrate on and with.
Yeah. And the show, obviously, you've got your volunteers, but the sponsors, those people, they make these things happen as well.
Today we've had a fantastic day. The weather's been great. The people have poured through the gates. We've received the money, but give us a wet year. People don't want to turn out, and we rely on our sponsors. Without people like those, they make sure they're our wet weather money, and we have to have sponsors. We're a charity, we're a non-profit making event. Okay, we've had a bumper year today, but we'd struggle to break even, believe it or not.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? But now, what's the celebrations for you guys? I know you've got the big job of taking it all down, but right in this moment, Carol, what are you going to do next?
I think go and have a large drink.
There we go. That was Kirree Kermode, the Royal Manx Agricultural Show Secretary for 2024. Well, that's all from me for this series of Countryside, but don't forget, you can go and listen to all the programmes again via the Manx Radio website or your usual podcast provider, and they're there all in full. But for now, let's hope the sun continues to shine and we'll see you again soon. Bye!